Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to another gameplay and chill. This is just literally going to be me playing a couple of games, well, not playing the games, just watching the games back in the background, and today we're going to be looking at Winston. In particular, we're going to be looking at this clip at the end of a game on Temple of Anubis, as you can probably tell, where I'm playing Winston, and they have a lot of Tracers and a lot of Genjis, and I'm playing Winston, and Winston does an interesting thing against those heroes, namely he just, like, destroys them. So the thing with Tracer and Genji is they're totally reliant on the ability to dodge, and Winston doesn't give a shit about your ability to dodge. You just press W, you hold M1, and you kill everyone. And this game kind of typified that. So we took the first point there, and then I literally leapt behind them and did so much damage so quickly that they couldn't respond to it. When I died, Mercy just picked me back up and I could finish off enough of the enemy team, deal enough damage, and we broke them. We're going to leave that clip behind us because it's just a demonstration of what I'm going to be talking about for most of the episode, which is the Winston problem. For most of this episode, we're going to be looking at this Winston game in general, and then we're going to go on to a Zenyatta game, which kind of feeds into it, because all of this is endemic of something that I learned when I talked to a bunch of pros, because I played a bunch of games in basically a 6 with a few pros, a few other personalities, I guess you could call them, for Overwatch. And we were playing these games and they were telling me like, oh yeah, you know, Genji is really strong right now. We're in what we're calling the Genji meta. So everything is building up around Genji. The reason why you don't see Mercy so much, for example, in high-level games is because Zenyatta buffs your Genji and nerfs theirs. So he kind of does, you know, does good for your Genji and does bad for their Genji. Of course, they also have a Genji and Zenyatta, so hey, you're kind of nullifying each other there. Not the most creative solution, but it kind of works at the moment. But the one answer that you're seeing a lot is Winston also being brought into the fold, because hey, Winston basically demolishes Genji. Now I'm not going to use the word counter, I'm trying to avoid using the word counter, because to me counter implies something that, you know, you pick Winston and then Genji is deleted. That's not how this works. I'd like to use the term strong against, and Winston is strong against Genji. He's also very strong against Tracer, and he is kind of frustrating to play against if you are a Genji and Tracer main, because the amount of effort that you put into like aiming and dodging seems so much less than what the Winston is putting in. And oh Jesus, this is embarrassing to watch because my ultimate just came up and I really should have used it then instead of just dying. Actually, just a comment on the game in the background. Like, that Roadhog does a lot of work here. Roadhog's also just a good pick against Winston. It's not totally simple, like you can do a lot of work with the barrier just to sort of block him out, but if you're trying to be aggressive like I am in this game, I play an incredibly aggressive sort of assassin Winston, then he's going to cause you problems. He's definitely going to cause you trouble. There's over a Reaper that's going to shut me down somewhat, and this is one thing I sort of want to get onto, is you're going to see a sort of cyclic balance hitting Overwatch, or cyclic if you prefer, where you're going to see, you know, okay, so we're in the Genji meta, so everything kind of revolves around the strength of the Genji. So, okay, now then we need to pick things that beat Genji. Okay, then we'll pick Zenyatta, and we might pick Winston, for example. Zarya is also another very good pick for dealing with Genjis. And he also buffs your Genji as well. She also buffs your Genji. Excuse me. But Winston's occasionally popping up, and Winston, it feels like, in my opinion, he might need just like 250 health off his shield or something. Just a little less in it, just so he can't dance in between it, dance in and out of it so easily. But on top of that, I think people just also need to learn a bit more and learn to break the shield. You can deal 1,000 damage very quickly in this game, especially if you have like Pharah or Junkrat or Roadhog or Reaper. You can really break that down nice and quickly. It's not like Reinhardt's barrier, which is 2,000, which you should only really be hitting if you have nothing better to hit. With a Junkrat and a Pharah like they have, they should just be popping my barrier the moment I put them up. But as you can see in this game, like, I'm just leaping in, getting on top of their carries, which is the Junkrat and the Pharah, and dealing as much damage as I can, and then trying to jump out and just get to safety. We don't actually have a healer in this game, which we have the Symmetra instead, which is, you know, 50 regenerating shields. It's not really going to do much, and of course I jump into Roadhog and that just ends my fun. But already, you know, I'm tying up the Junkrat, I'm tying up the Pharah, and they're not doing a good job of dealing with me in the backline. Of course, we can see from Widowmaker ult that Reaper's also sneaking into our backline, so I'm being a bit cautious. I'm considering jumping up there at the top, but oh, that's where Reaper is. We found him. Well, Zarya found him, put him down. It's always lovely to see Genji. Like, that is not the time to reflect. Believe me, it's Zarya and a Winston. We don't give no shits. We don't care about your reflect, we'll just kill you. And this Roadhog is just doing work. He's killing the hell out of me. But yeah, where was I? Genji meta, Winston. Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing, you know, I don't know, McCree picks, for example. I think McCree will be a lovely solution to this, because McCree is a counter to flankers. He's a counter to backline harass. If you are good with the flashbang, and pro tip, don't throw the flashbang at Genji, throw it like above him, so he can't reflect it back at you. Jesus Christ, people. It's not difficult, just don't hit him directly until he's fired off his reflect. Most Genjis will blow it reflexively anyway. Now, I mean, as you can see, like, this Genji just could not deal with me at all. Hanzo could probably do a number on me, and yeah, get blown up, but alas. But yeah, McCree, I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen more McCrees. And McCree is still a popular pick in pro level, so... You see, to me, complaining about Winston is missing something obvious. So sure, Winston has an easy time killing people, but Winston's also very easy to kill in some ways. If Winston mistimes his jump or misplaces his jump, there are a lot of ways to punish him for doing that. You could have, you know, if you have Reaper, if you have Roadhog, as we've seen with this game, for example. Oh, do excuse me. I've just finished my sort of late lunch, so I'm a little bit full of food. But yeah, you're seeing like Reaper, you're seeing Roadhog, you could see McCree do it as well, just really put a stop to these antics. You could also kind of see Junkrat doing it if he's putting his trap defensively in positions where, you know, like in this case where I've jumped to it and then been caught in it. Just a little bit too aggressive placement in that, where, you know, no one's there to capitalize on, and I can just position on top of it, just trap Roadhog in a glass dome so he can't hit anyone with that infernal hook, and he doesn't manage to take note of me. And hello Genji, yeah, again, no reflections for you. This is Beam Team. This is the Beam crew, and this is just dirty overkill. We get a Zarya ult with me on top of it and just killing the shit out of everyone. Always entertaining. And yeah, just jumping on top of people, killing them, and that's really it with Winston. Like, as long as you are playing somewhat sensibly, and if the enemy team isn't playing with that threat in mind, you can have such an easy time killing people, and it might just be a little bit too easy to do that. Now again, possible fixes include just lowering the health on the barrier. You could increase the cooldown on the dome as well, though I think, honestly, that's fine. I think it's just mostly a training thing. I think just people need to learn to break the dome faster in pub games, and also just be more willing to pick things that will stop stuff like a backline harassing Winston. Otherwise, I'm fine with him dealing with Genji and Tracer. I think Genji and Tracer need fairly simple counters, if that makes sense. Well, not counters, but fairly simple weaknesses, such as characters who can just, you know, slap them around and just cover the area in lightning or cover the area in damage. I quite like playing Junkrat against, you know, Genji and Tracer, for example. I can generally put the trap in a place where you can hit them and you can catch them on the ground, and oh Jesus, just nicked by a lightning bolt and killed. Ah, poor lad. But after this, we're going to go to a game with Zenyatta, and I like talking about Zenyatta. I've been playing Zenyatta a lot, as I think I skilled player of the game in this one, so yeah. So this is going to be a highly skilled player of the game, as all players of the game are. Like, the top tier players of Genji just getting mauled by 3 people with beams, and then this is overkill, brutal overkill, but I'm fine with it. Killing a Lucio always feels worthwhile. I don't care if we spend an ult to do that, but let's just jump to the Zenyatta game. So this game I recorded because it had a pro or two in it. I know D-Gun at least is a pro, and there's just a couple of really good players in this match, so I knew it was probably going to be a good game. You could tell generally if the enemy team is made up of good players, because you can generally tell that they're good players because they're standing further back, so they're not actually defending around this bus area, they're defending the building and then defending the point. The reason why people do this is because you can generally pick up a kill or two in this area here, and they won't be back in time to defend the point, so you end up in a kind of 3 versus 6 if things go badly, and you'll instantly lose the point. When you're further back towards the point, we have this long pathway to go up to, and basically you can think of this attack approach as 3 long pathways, and they have ways of sort of stalling us out. They also have a Torbjorn, so it's not too surprising to see them defend, but with Torbjorn's nerfs, and with a Pharah and a Widowmaker and a Zenyatta, he's just never going to do enough damage to stop us from doing what we want. I mean, Reinhardt caught with my orb, beautiful. Killed nicely, and we're going to actually see in this game, I think I do a good job on Zenyatta, just to toot my own horn, but I've been playing a bunch of Zenyatta. He's like my 3rd highest played. I'm trying to learn him, trying to get better with him. The one thing I do in this game is I played it super safe. I generally play him a little bit more aggressively than this. I generally try and get more into the action because he does a shitload of damage. But as a result, I die a lot more. In this game, I just let the other guys deal with the damage. I just stayed back. I stayed on the payload making sure it's constantly moving, and making sure that the Orb of Harmony was either on Genji or Pharah if it wasn't healing someone actively. So right now it's on Pharah, and it's going to stay on Pharah for a little bit until I can see someone who needs healing. Otherwise, I'm just fine with like the status quo. I'm pushing. I would have liked someone else to be pushing with me because, like, all these guys right now, what they're doing is they're effectively buying space for the payload to push. The enemy team can't stop the payload pushing when they're fighting all the way over there. I would have liked it if one more person was pushing. That way we could have probably got the payload a good couple of meters further in this time. As a result, we don't actually get that far, and I could see someone coming up behind me, but oh god, there's a Reinhardt. He snuck up on me. And down I go. So, gonna respawn. You can see all the lovely high-level portraits as well. The level 50 ones look super nice. I wasn't that impressed with the portrait system until I saw at higher levels how fancy they get. So that's really cool. I really like that. The level 100 ones are super spiffy. And oh, he just managed to nick the orb onto Reinhardt there, so we just have enough to take him out. I got really worried there. I thought he was going to land a charge on me, so I just fire off the ultimate reflexively just to try not to die. But Reaper, oh god, he manages to get into position and kills everybody. The moment my ultimate goes down, that always feels kind of bad. Now, otherwise, we just need to mess up. Like, they're camping our spawn, which is kind of okay. If we can get a pick, and it's not difficult for our team to do that because we have Roadhog. If we can get a pick, then we can probably just shove our way out of this nice and quickly, and probably do it quite easily as well. So you can see Roadhog around here. I'm going to just throw some extra health on him, just to keep him topped up while he heals up as well. It just builds my ultimate up that little bit faster. And healer ultimates actually build up stupidly fast these days, in my opinion. You get a lot of those very quickly, and oh Jesus, Reinhardt just got deleted just in time as well, because that could have really done a number on me. Again, just keeping Pharah topped up. I'm staying behind this corner, out of the line of fire, just to keep people alive. I can trust in this Pharah and Genji to actually do work. Otherwise, I'm just looking for targets here. I really like putting all Discord on Lucio, for example, just because Lucio is very difficult to kill without it, so it makes it much easier. So now we're actually playing more as a team. Like, people aren't pushing as far ahead. We do have like the Genji roaming forward, and we do have the Zarya roaming forward a bit, but at least Roadhog and Widowmaker are staying on the payload. And you can see how much faster it's moving as well while those two buy a space. Also, with this more open area, I have longer vision, so I can just keep Genji with the Orb of Harmony on him, which basically, like, the way that pro teams organize themselves is kind of interesting. Basically, Zenyatta just puts an Orb of Harmony on Genji and kind of does nothing else, and lets the Lucio take care of all the healing. Of course, pros generally run a 2-2-2 comp, so they have two supports basically maximizing the healing efficiency, and as such Genji can be much more aggressive and do much more. I'm having to play main healer, so I'm having to keep people like this Roadhog topped up, just helping him fill up his health bar instead of relying on his own self-heal, because I want my ultimate up, and Roadhog's just a good source of getting that nice and quickly. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking for targets, especially this Lucio, as I said. Just spamming away. It always feels good landing Discord on targets to get hooked. Unfortunately, Reaper runs in the back. Now, I'm thinking, hey, shit, Reaper's gonna ult, because that's what Reapers generally do when they run into the back like that. So I just fire off mine. I think Roadhog fires off his as well, thinking the same thing, thinking that he's gonna ult, so he's just gonna knock him all the way back. But unfortunately, the Reaper just decides to pull back. Soldier 76, of course, firing off his ultimate, trying to clear us off the point, and we're actually doing a good job pushing here. We get a good amount of ground, and this is what I like to see. When we're fighting, we're constantly pushing the payload. Like, this is something that people need to learn. If you're fighting, try and fight for a reason. If you're just fighting to fight and, I don't know, kill each other, you're not actually doing anything if you're the attacking team. As the attacking team, oh god, just killing Tracer as Zenyatta is always nice, because she's going to kill the shit out of me later, spoilers. But yeah, you should be fighting for a reason. And the reason should always be, oh, we're achieving the objective. It could be something like, oh, we're just getting Pharah and Zarya ults up and ready to go. Or it could be that we're moving the payload, we're buying space for the payload, whenever we should be just fighting for the sake of fighting. And now, of course, they get their Winston out. He's going to work on basically occupying that top ground. Oh god, caught with an ultimate. It never feels nice. It never does feel good when you get trapped like that and taken down by Reinhardt. There's nothing that would have saved me there. But back on respawn, I'm going to be looking for this Pharah and Genji. You know, I will say that people need to be a little bit more aware of healer restrictions. Like, I'd love to put the orb onto this Pharah, and I just managed to catch her there, but it would be nice if she walked nearer the ledge, for example. Just makes it easier for me to spot her. Because it's not quite enough to deal out the damage. I think something else must have hit her, because I don't think Winston can actually outdamage that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Reaper. That's honestly not a bad trade. Like, he only got me, which feels kind of good. because he traded his ultimate to kill me, so he's not going to have an ultimate for about 2 minutes. My ultimate's still building up, and I was still right next to the spawn, and we weren't in a major push. So if we were in a big push and he trades his ultimate to kill me, that's a big deal. People are actively fighting, my heals are making a big difference. As it was, my heals were sort of, I don't know, maintaining a holding pattern, I guess, just keeping steady. Like, that's a good trade. Like, Tracer just kills me and gets away with it scot-free. That's a good trade. What Reaper did, not so much of a good trade, so I'm honestly fine with that. Like, trading Reaper ult to kill 150 health Zenyatta, fine, do it, I'll take that trade all day, every day. But we're being a bit fractured, they're being aggressive, and their Tracer and Reaper, sorry, I've got Zenyatta on the brain, clearly, is doing a lot of work. Their Winston is also doing a lot of work, being very aggressive, so we're trying to group up. Zarya is, calling for a group up, which generally means she has an ultimate. Jesus, I'm glad I didn't turn that corner. I saw that Genji was fighting someone, so I just thought, my old instincts were, oh, I'll just turn the corner and see what it is and try and help kill it. Luckily I didn't, because I probably got charged and killed. And I almost got that Lucio as well. Jesus, it hurts that I didn't get him. Now, I found my ult here just to help secure the push. Honestly, a little bit too early. Like, I should have held onto it until about now when, they're actually fighting back, but I thought we were going to take it all the way there. Unfortunately, the Pharah's dead, and I think the Pharah was our best solution to that Tracer, barring a lucky Roadhog hook. And as such, the Tracer just runs rings around us, let's try and speak properly, and does a shitload of damage and just brutalizes the team. So now we're a bit shattered, and you can see that people are dying. Now, a mistake here would be to run in and try and fight this. I'm keeping distance, because I know that Tracer can close the gap on me in no time at all. So I just want to stay back, stay far behind this Pharah. I'm trying to hit this Reaper, I think, who has the Orb Discord on him, but he decides to run inwards and then uses Wraith form to get rid of the Orb. It's kind of a pest, but we need to just hold up, group up, wait for the team to get here. We have, we just seen that Lucio's died. The Roadhog's actually making calls in the chat, and this is something I've noticed high-level players doing more, is they do make calls like that. It's very nice when they do, and say, oh, healer's down, let's do something. So he's made that call, and we're going to try and push in. That's their Zenyatta. Now, interesting thing is I can put an Orb of Discord on him, and oh god, I was about to fire my ult then. Literally just about to fire it, and then Reaper drops down and kills me just like a split second before I do it. I think people call deaths like that being 20 ticked, but honestly, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think I would have died no matter what. So yeah, that's always sad. Just like right before I'm about to fire it. Alas, it would have been so clutch if I managed to get it off. We would have probably succeeded on this push. So we got about one more push on us because we have about a minute to go. So that just gives us one more push. Genji's just died. So we're just going to hold here, basically. We just got to wait. Now, Reaper's just died, so that's good. And, oh, Jesus, Pharah. I should have saved her. Alas. Otherwise, just keeping eyes open. This Roadhog's going to go fishing, so I'm going to give him a hand. And he confused me a bit here by dropping down. I expected him to pull back. I wasn't expecting him to drop down because I can't follow him going through that way. If I eat a single rocket and I go down, it's really bad for us because I have my ultimate. So they've just fired their ultimate. Oh, Jesus, that bomb nearly gets me. It gets 2 people. I fire off my ultimate to survive so I can just stay part of this push because we only have 20 seconds. If I died, I wouldn't be back in this fight by the time, we're in overtime or the game's in danger of ending. We need my healing. So the Transcendence wasn't so much to keep the team alive, but just to keep me alive. Luckily, we get a really good combo of ults here. We do get a Rocket Barrage and a Roadhog ult on a Zarya ult, and that just decimates their team. Now, this Tracer is just going to do work, and oh, God, just damn it. I know it's their job to do it, but it always hurts. Luckily, it just pulls both of them into like a single spot, and we managed to clean up and managed to push as a result, because we cleared out their tanks using that combination of ultimates. Thanks to people still being alive, thanks to me being alive. So I'm really happy with the decision to fire off the ultimate when I did. Play of the game. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. This has been like I'm calling this gameplay and chill because it's just relaxing. It's me talking about the game, my thoughts on the states of the game, with some fun games in the background. Hopefully, some entertaining matches, some good players, and some good plays being made. Some of them will be better than others, but let me know what you think of the format. Let me know what you think about me just rambling away with some gameplay and commenting on it. It's not really commentary, it's just commenting. I can do commentary, but I don't know, I like this relaxed format. Toodles.